We read the text yesterday, couldn't go through into the details of what Sanjay is trying to tell. We'll discuss it today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita, chapter 2, text number 1. Contents of Gita summarized. Sanjay Uvacha Tam Tata Kripaya Vistam Asrupurnakulekshanam Vishidantam idam vakyam Uvacha Madhusudanaha. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of nescience cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra, or one who laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya. This conduct was not expected from him. But Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man. And for this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Krishna. So this realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in the fixed conception of real self. Amagyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamai Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pungam Lungayate Giram Yatkripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dimatarinam. Hare Krishna. So as we just concluded chapter 1, we are entering into chapter 2. We are trying to assess the situation of Arjuna and what is Lord trying to tell. What is Arjuna asking? What is Krishna telling? So every ask of Arjuna is the greatest shelter for every jiva in this world. We've been here, we need to understand we have problems. Doesn't matter who we are, where we are, in which situation we've been kept. We might be a big doctor, scientist, doesn't matter. If we are here in this material world means we have problems. And our false ego is so big that the false ego will not allow us to understand or perceive that we have problems here. So Arjuna has kept that aside. He's showing us what we should do. He has a problem, he's submitting. If a person has false ego, he will not submit. Actually, if we closely understand or think further on this matter, as so many aspirants, they come to Krishna consciousness. thinking that they will get some solace. Definitely, Krishna consciousness is the greatest process. It will give solace to the heart completely, no doubt about it. Otherwise, we don't see devotees who are selflessly serving. That solace is there. Every person, whoever takes the process sincerely, I've seen so many devotees who experience Krishna consciousness very joyfully, who are very happy practicing the process, and the solace is there. But a question will come: who gets that solace? Now, why are we trying to discuss that is Arjuna is in that similar condition now. He is about to get that solace. He is Visrijye sasaram chapam so kasam vignamanasaha. His mind overwhelmed with grief. He sat down on the chariot. Now he's looking for solutions. Now he's hurt. He's brutally hurt. Internally, his consciousness is affected so much. Now when we go one step forward, when we see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, here Srila Prabhupada, Arjuna is actually, Sanjaya is actually pointing to Madhusudana. Madhusudana means Madhu is the killer of demon, Krishna. Now, few devotees they say that there is no Madhu. Okay, there is no Madhu, but that doesn't mean that Krishna never killed a demon named Madhu if if it is not written in the scriptures. When a Vaishnava, when a pure devotee is telling something, this is Sanjaya is telling, it means under his realm it is done. The Lord kills unlimited demons. Only few portions are listed in the book or in the scriptures. There are unlimited ways Lord can kill unlimited demons. So when the Lord says, when he says Madhusudana means yes, that he is a killer of demon, who is that? Krishna. So he can kill the demon in unlimited ways. Now another aspect here, an aspect to think or assess deeper. What is that aspect is when Krishna says Madhusudana, here Srila Prabhupada says Arjuna's demons which are there not externally, the demons which are there internally, those demons have to be curbed down. That is the whole point of Arjuna approaching the Lord because he is asking, can you help me in this situation? Now, do we see Brijavasis going to Krishna like this? Do we see a situation? No, we don't see that situation. Now, this is a clear proof that pure devotees never go through that. But why is that Arjuna is going through that? Is because Arjuna is going through is to teach us a lesson. That is why Arjuna has been kept in that state. Arjuna knows everything left and right. If there is some problem, he knows how to tackle that. But Krishna has particularly kept him in that state and Arjuna is accepting that state. Now, why Krishna has kept Arjuna in that state to teach every jiva in this world? Because if you see, who doesn't have problems in this material world? Except pure devotees, everyone has problems. That means the state of consciousness is what matters. Every jiva, the more focused, that is what Prabhupada is mentioning. Arjuna is approaching Madhusudana to kill his demon which are there in the heart. That is what he's expressing, right? The grief. Why the grief is coming? Why the problem is coming in the heart? No matter he has spoken so many things. Why the problem is coming? Now he is actually trying to address that problem. Now this is where the epitome, that means the science of Gita goes into one's consciousness. If you see every sadhu or a Vaishnava or a pure soul in their life, they will actually go through these situations and circumstances. Prabhupada and he met Srila Prabhupada and he met his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Prabhupada actually addressed the problems. That means if the problems are addressed, then only there is a solution. If the problems are not addressed, do you think there is a solution? There is no solution if the problems are not addressed. So people will never understand what the science of Krishna consciousness is if we don't know why this such and so why certain situations are happening in one's life? Why Arjuna has been kept in this state? Why is he lamenting? Why is he lamenting for that which he is not supposed to lament? That is the whole point. That means unnecessary compassion to unnecessary things is not recommended. That means anything which is devoid of the presence of the Lord, it is unnecessary. That means you don't have to dwell too much into the unnecessary dealings of this world. Dead what is a simple science. If our consciousness is focused on unnecessary things, can we bring back our consciousness to our necessary things? We cannot. That is what exactly Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in this book. That means if our focus is on something else, if our focus is on Dhana, Jana, Sundari, if our focus is how to acquire, how to do this, how to do this, how to gain this, how to gain that, if our focus is that, then our real focus is actually missed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before sannyas, also he was actually teaching the science of Krishna consciousness. But people were not accepting. Chaitanya Prabhupada mentions about it. As people were not accepting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Why? The core reason is through respect, because he's taken sannyas ashram. Sannyas ashram means those days they respect a lot, because sannyas ashram is rigorous regulations and rules, and they used to follow those rigorous rules and regulations, and then they are completely devoted for this pure for the service of the Lord. So they are completely sold out for pure devotional service. Their life is dedicated for that. That is the whole point. That means through that respect, if you actually see, through that respect, the truth actually kicks in into the heart. The devotee, the respect is not there, the truth cannot kick in. If you see here, Duryodhana, it doesn't have respect towards Lord. It's very interesting. This analogy, if we understand to the core of the heart, we will actually elevate our consciousness so much. Duryodhana has he has connection with what? With the Supreme Lord. But his connection is what? Is on a surface level. And that connection is not helping him to respect him completely. When he is not respecting him completely, even though the Lord is trying to give mercy, he is unable to perceive that mercy. Is this not the same exact thing happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came? When Lord Ramachandra came, also this happened. When Supreme Personality of God Krishna came, this happened. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Supreme Personality of God Lord Chaitanya came, this also manifested the same way. That means people are not accepting. People cannot accept because the the gratitude or the gravity is missing. That means the respect factor is missing. When the respect factor is missing, what happens, dear devotees? One cannot perceive. That is the whole point. That is the reason why Duryodhana was not being given this teaching. Now, if you think about this further, this is where real compassion comes. The compassion of Lord Chaitanya. What is the magnanimity of Lord Chaitanya and his followers? Even the mindsets of Duryodhana, even if they come to the science of Krishna consciousness, they welcome them. They don't reject. That doesn't mean that Krishna rejected. No, 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 no. This the way Lord came as Lord Chaitanya is completely different. That means what they do is they give immense love and then they give the truth. Even though the person is not in that state of submission, but still they give immense love. This we need to understand. Because this love can only be given by those souls who really wanted to genuinely understand the pathetic condition. This, dear devotees, the Kali Yuga is very pathetic state. The Padam Padam Yad Vipadam Natesham is fully manifested. All the anarthas, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara, they actually trouble the soul so much. So through the trouble, what is happening? Falsification. That means the jiva lives in falsification. Through that falsification, he will take the shelter of this Dhana Jana Sundari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says you avoid this. But through falsification, these three things are taken shelter. When these three things are taken shelter, the truth cannot perceive. Because the respect will not kick in. What is Duryodhana doing? Duryodhana is doing the exactly same thing now. He's doing the exactly same thing. That's why our so-called compassion in this world should be avoided. What can we give compassion? Of course, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. Real compassion is protecting the soul. That's what Krishna is also mentioning. You kill these personalities. They are going away from dharma. If these personalities will come into the throne again, entire society will be dethroned. Now, Arjuna is also speaking on society. Krishna's intention is also protect society. Arjuna's intention is also to protect society. But Arjuna's intention is different to compare to what Krishna's intention is. Arjuna's intention is he wanted to give the kingdom to those personalities, and then through that he wants to he's telling that through that, as the people will not be killed, through that dharma will be protected. Dharma will be dethroned actually, because if that personalities are on the leadership position, do you think that the dharma will be followed in as is? No, dharma will not be followed. That means anyhow dharma will be degraded. But Arjuna is not thinking from that perspective, from the perspective of what Lord Krishna wanted him to do. Why the Lord wants him to fight? Because he wants to keep that leader on the top position, who is a pure soul. Vaishnava. Vaishnava is a Paradukha Dukhi. That kind of personality should be there on the throne. That means a person should be on a selfless plan. If a person is selfless, then only he can do the service of the Acharya. Na? Otherwise, how he can do the service of the Acharya? He cannot do the service of the. For example, if a person is running behind money, woman, and wealth, Dhana, Jana, Sundari, name, fame, profit, adoration, and if that person is on the throne, but what will he do? He will run behind the same thing. If he is running behind adharma, what the inhabitants will take? Inhabitants will also take that. That means to the point of what Arjuna is telling in chapter 1, this is completely contradiction. That is the whole point why Krishna wants him to fight. But Arjuna says, I don't want to fight. Because if I fight, all the people will be killed. Even if the people are killed or not killed, Adharma will be on the throne. Krishna says that has to be stopped. That means the internal thing one should actually pursue. When the Lord, Guru Sadhu Shastra, when they are telling us something, we need to understand this is very important for us. The Lord Chaitanya says, Na dhana na jana na sundari, that is beneficial for us. That means if we are not focusing on that, then where do we focus? We focus on pure devotional service. We focus on what we need to do. We focus on cultivating the quality. We focus on how we can actually take this truth. We focus on how this truth can be given to others. We focus on how can we become more and more intensified and pure. But on the other side, if the focus, let's say if a person is drowning, do you give importance to the person or to the coat? The coat is also drowning. Prabhupada says, do you first pick up the coat or the person? Exactly the person. Now Arjuna's compassion is like this. He's trying to pick up the coat. That's why as the truth is distorted or deviated, that is where the problem is coming. Please understand the other word. If our heart, if there is a problem in our heart, we need to understand we are not following the absolute truth. As simple as that. If there is a kuch problem हो रहा है, there is a problem. Or if we are unable to practice Krishna consciousness, we need to understand we are doing some problem somewhere. Either we are not following, either we are not submissive, either we are not in the either we are not interested, or we do not have that kind of a deeper desire to really practice the science of Krishna consciousness. That means the problem is with us only, nobody else. Just like the problem is with Arjuna. It's not the problem of Krishna. Arjuna doesn't want to fight. Arjuna doesn't want to follow. Likewise, the conditioned soul in this world, we don't want to follow. We don't want to accept. We don't want to accept our present situation. But whoever is very honest, he accepts his present situation. He will be elevated. That means his consciousness will be elevated. For example, To study for IIT or IAS is difficult. But if a person is focusing, he's not watching movies, he's not playing cricket, he's not playing football, he's not looking for a girlfriend, he's not looking for any of those things. He's going to college, coming home, studying, eating, sleeping, helping parents here and there, and then that's about it. And preparing for the exam. His only focus is to crack the exam. It's difficult, it's not easy because mind will tell him to distort in so many ways. But he might be having some material benefit out of it, but he wants to crack that exam or he wants to become an engineer or an IAS officer. Oh, that is motivating him to continue. Array, if a material person can be motivated in that way, what about us? How much focus and intention, how much energy we need to manifest. Dear devotees, we need to speak less, think more. You should speak only when there is a requirement. Unnecessary speaking is also should be avoided. What do you get? What do we get unnecessarily if we speak something? Oh, to whom we are showing? To whom we are telling that I know this, I know that. We don't have to show anyone. We don't have to tell anyone. We have to focus our consciousness. This is what we have to do. I remember my spiritual master telling few years back, you don't have to externally show that you are this, you are that. You don't have to proclaim that I have done this, I have done that, or I have done this service, I have done that service, or I do 50%, I do this, I do that. No, you don't have to proclaim any of those things. All you need to do is you need to focus in your heart. You need to do that service with the best possible consciousness. You don't have to tell anyone. Krishna is sitting in the heart. Spiritual master knows what we are doing. That's about it. Even sometimes spiritual master might not know. Still, we should do with full conviction, following in the lines of what spiritual master might have told us. That means Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur might not know everything what Srila Prabhupada did, but Srila Prabhupada followed the lines of what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said. That is more important. That means to whom, for whose happiness, for whose benefit we are doing it. Eventually, we are benefited, but we are doing it for them. That's why unnecessary talkings, unnecessary dealings in this world should be avoided completely. If you are talking, you have to talk about Krishna consciousness, otherwise, you should keep quiet. There's no business here, actually. You see, Jada Bharat, what was his consciousness? Was he unnecessarily speaking to everyone? Kalika Upasika came. Everyone know, but I'll summarize that quickly once. When Jada Bharat was actually going in the forest, Kalika Upasika will caught him. And then they will bring him to the place where they have to kill him, give Bali. Then the moment he was about to be killed, Mother Durga, she comes out and then she kills all her disciples and then she will let loose Jadavarat. And then Jadavarat is not standing there or trying to appreciate her. No, he just walked away from that place because he knows if Krishna wants to protect me, he'll protect. If Krishna wants to kill, he'll kill. He did not, and also if you see, when Kalika Upasakas, the personalities who wanted to kill Jadavarat, when they were actually taking Jada Bharat, he is not preaching them Krishna consciousness. Oh, you know what you're doing is bad. This is a sinful activity. Killing a human is bad. He's not telling any of those things because he understands their position is not there to actually accept or perceive the truth. Please understand that time, place, circumstances is very important to what we are speaking. That means our understanding, our reasons, our logic should be very clear and crystal straightforward. That means, dear devotees, this body should function for their happiness. That's about it. We should lead one's life for their happiness, the happiness of the Lord. Oh, these words sound big, big words. No, no. If you slowly manifest into your consciousness, you get so much shelter through this. That actually tells you that you are not alone. Who said we are alone, dear devotees? Paramatma is sitting in your heart. Who said you are alone? We are never alone. When we are quiet, we can experience His presence. when we are not unnecessarily when we are not unnecessarily deviating our heart or consciousness, we can actually perceive. How do we perceive the super soul which is there in the heart? By following his instructions. Whatever Lord is giving us, a supreme personality of God, he expanded himself and then sitting as Shiradakasa Vishnu in one's heart. No, that is a detail. But you see, the love and affection towards every jiva is actually shown through that. A lot of people will say, Lord doesn't love. Who said he doesn't love? If he doesn't love, then why is he sitting in our heart? If he doesn't love, then even though we have divided, we came away from him. Even though we came away from him, why still is holding us, holding our hand? Even though through so much karmic reactions, we are actually suffering, but still he's there with us. We went through the body of animals, we went through the body of aquatic, we went through the body of so many jivas in this world. Why is he still present with us? Is that not love? So we are not turning and seeing towards him. That is not the problem of the Lord. That is our problem. This we need to understand. Because that is the whole point of material compassion. No? What is this material compassion? Lamentation and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. What is a real compassion? A real compassion is for the soul. Now that we have to perceive. The more we understand this, the more it is beneficial for us. For example, Arjuna is kept in this state. Now Duryodhana is also in a similar state. In chapter 1 also itself we have seen that Duryodhana is in a fearful state. But you know what he did? And you know what Arjuna is doing? Arjuna is in grief at the end of the chapter. Duryodhana was already in a fearful state at the beginning of the chapter. What Duryodhana did is very instrumental to compare what Arjuna is doing. Duryodhana went to he did not go to the Lord. He did not go to the Lord, oh, why my heart is behaving like this? Because no connection, no relation, no feelings, no exchange of words. Because there's no relation. So what is he doing? To remove that fear, he's actually trying to see himself in a better position so that the fear which is there in his heart is gone. Please understand. That is what exactly everyone is doing in this material world. Oh, what Duryodhana is doing is a very interesting thing. What he does is, he understood the reason of fear. What is the reason of fear? A reason of fear is he somehow felt that his army is little not strong. Now, he is training up his mind and his consciousness in such a way that his army is becoming more stronger than the Pandavas. Now, when that is there, then the fear will go. Is this not this entire material world is doing in this world? I'll tell how exactly this entire material world is doing this. Let's say there is a problem. Where do we go? We go to hospital. And then we pay some money and the doctor will give some prescription. We take that prescription and then the disease is cured, right? What are we doing? Problem is there. Solution is also there. How? Going to the doctor. Let's say you have another problem. Problem of commute. You're taking a bus to the office. It is difficult, especially in the winter seasons because it snows. Now the solution? Have a car. That means you have a problem. What are you trying? What are you trying to do? Trying to find a solution. Solution is what? Solution is to have a car. Then what is happening? The mind is pacified, right? That means we are finding solutions also in this world. Now, a lot of scientists in this world, what do? They are trying to find solutions for aging problem. That means that they want to show themselves or herself in a better situation from a body perspective. That means the age has to be in a better way. They do that. For that, what do? Investment. And then if they take that medicine, then they will be young. Another problem is short, temporary. But if you see, again coming back to the Duryodhana, is that problem really solved? Or just like you're walking or you're taking the bus or you're purchased a car, do you think that the problem is completely gone? The problem, the commute time might be reduced, but another problem might come. What is that another problem? You have to pay car loan. Every month you have to pay. Now you have more responsibility. Let's say if there is something happened to the job, then there is another complexity. Are we reducing the problem or increasing the problem? Initially, you're taking the bus. It might be a little difficult, but there is no loan for you. You just go pay, you have a rental home. If their job is also gone, then you'll remove the rental home and then go to your home. Whatever, you'll figure out that. But now what is happening? You're binding into that problem more. Why? Just to fulfill one's desire. What is the desire? To come out of the problem. Duryodhana is also exactly doing that. He has a problem of fear. Now he is seeing himself in a certain situation. And then through that situation, he's understanding that if I do this, I'll get a benefit. And then he's actually inspiring those personalities to be very vigilant so that we are the victorious. Through that state, through inspiring them, then obviously his fear will be reduced. He's actually thinking that is the way to actually come out of that. Now Arjuna also has a problem. But his way of seeing things is totally different. This is called as dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajanayana gatasapanta. That means following in the footsteps of these pure souls. Now, what is Arjuna doing here? He has a problem. Duryodhana had a problem. Arjuna has a problem. But Arjuna is looking towards the Lord. Because we have a problem. We should look towards the Lord through our acharyas, through the Vaishnavas, through our spiritual master. We should look through them. We should look the problem through them. That means what are we doing? We are not seeing through our consciousness. We are putting our consciousness aside and we are taking the consciousness of these personalities. That is what exactly Arjuna is doing. That is why Arjuna is victorious. Please understand why Arjuna is. A lot of people will say, what is the reason for Arjuna's victorious? Well, when they don't give importance to the person, there is no personalism. They say, oh, Arjuna, Arjuna, he fought his heart very nicely and he submitted. His submission gave him the strength. Please understand. This is assessing from an impersonal perspective. That means he is actually saying that he is submitting. Everyone will say like this. Impersonalists will say like this. Arjuna is submitting like that, and his submission helped him to come out of the problem. Now, what is the school of bhakti teaching us? Arjuna's submission, developing a deeper relationship with Krishna, and that deeper relationship with Krishna is actually helping him to come out of the problem. You see, a gulf of difference in this. Gulf of difference. There's no ordinary difference. Unlimited difference is there here. That means the way we see things is totally different. Vaishnava is seeing a particular aspect and a conditioned soul seeing the same particular aspect is totally different. Because both visions are totally, because the Vaishnava is actually seeing through the vision of his spiritual master and the Lord. But the conditioned soul is seeing through the vision of himself, just like Duryodhana, just like all the jivas in this world. All the jivas are actually trying to perceive or accept the truth in this way. Please understand this. Because jiva has different situations, circumstances, scenarios, and he's trying to solve them. Don't we see a lot of scientists in this world? They're trying to solve the problems of this world? Definitely. Science has advanced so much. But is that advancement helping one to come out of birth, death, old age disease? Do we see a scientist who's actually living for 1,000 years? No, we don't see like that. They don't live anymore. In Kali Yuga, the lifespan is not that big. That means the body is not habituated to that. That means some person is actually orchestrated the lifespan of this body, not the scientist. Now, who is that person? Trying to find that person is called a self-realization. That is what we will understand. This chapter is for self-realization, summarizing the contents of Gita through analytical study. That means entire chapter 2 will cover all the aspects of Gita. Every detail which Krishna speaks in Gita is covered in chapter 2 on a high level. That means we understand chapter 2 and chapter 1. And if we understand why chapter 2 is coming from chapter 1, then the person is actually able to know the importance of this Gita. Why this Gita is so prominent? Even Krishna spoke this not 5,000 years ago, millions of years back. Since millions of years this truth is coming, why is this truth still prevailing? Still prevailing? That itself is a clear indication that this is so magnanimous. And no one can replace this. These words, every word will give a solution. Every moment we have an option. We have an option to really understand this truth. What is a real compassion? Is it compassion to this body? Compassion to the soul? What is important? For example, if the body is leaving, people who do not have understanding of how this body is designed, they will profusely lament for this body. They profusely lament. Even the person who is leaving the body, he will also lament. Why? Because he is missing this body. And later on, he'll lament that I will miss all of my family. That means he's actually seeing himself through that. See, he's here. His understanding is here. His vision is here. That means anything which is grass, he'll see that. Anything which is grass, he'll connect to that. For example, a child is there. There's a child is there in the hall. So many devotees. And then his father came. The boy, will he go to the father or not? He will go. How? Because he is able to figure out his father through that gross body. There's so many people. He's not running to everyone. Why is he going to the father? Because since childhood, the boy has a conviction that he's my father. He understood that he's my family member. I belong to him. Now, this consciousness or perception which we have perceived, this won't leave until we leave this body. Because again, when we leave this body, we get another father. And that father will be our life soul. Now, he is our life and soul at that time. What are we doing whenever he comes again? Again, we run behind him. Are previous life you ran behind him. Now you're running behind him. They don't enter an interesting aspect. Because in the morning we are discussing all that. How is that children, they develop some good qualities and also some bad qualities. Small children, 1 year. Nobody trained them both with either with good qualities or with bad qualities. Or not even 1 year, even less. Now, if it is 1 year, then we can actually see that more clearly in them. How is that? We see some qualities. Now, who is keeping them? Were they trained? No. What is his father telling him to do like that? No. Is his mother telling him to do that? No. He has some good qualities also. Nobody trained him, but they are able to perceive that. Who is doing it? This is a proof that they were there before. It's a very clear indication. Now, the child, they have inferiority. Some children, they have inferiority complex, insecurity. Who is inculcating insecurity now? I know my sister's son. When he sees when he sees anything from the height, he gets dizzy. He doesn't want to see. Why only that child is like that? That was another he go to the higher, fifth floor, sixth floor. When he see down, he doesn't want to see. He has a fear in the heart. Why that thing is there? No, his sister doesn't have that. Did the parents trained him? No. How is it coming? These are all previous experiences they carry into this life. They might have been thrown from that cliff, or he might have experienced some turbulence in his previous life. That impressions are there, and that impressions carry. They don't remember the details, but they carry the impressions. Now, some children they remember the details also. They remember their past lives. There are some children like that. Most of them they don't. That means even I was actually when my elder daughter was younger, I was thinking about it. I was thinking a lot about this aspect. Because I just told what are these A, B, C, D, E, F, G. She just learned. Not just my daughter, every child is like that. If you show them once, twice, they just learn. No, we are not doing anything from our side. We are just becoming an instrument to teach them. The intelligence is already there. The consciousness is already there. The qualities are already there to perceive that. For example, if I put focus more, some children they don't understand. Because from our side, the efforts are there, but from their side, the intelligence is not there. Now, why one child is in one way, why the other child is in another way? This is a clear proof and a clarity and an indication which is telling us that, dear devotees, we don't belong to this body. Through our prarabdha, we came here. We do our activities, we finish our business, and then get another body based on the activities which you have done in this body. For that reason, Srila Prabhupada is telling, why are you, that's what he's mentioning. Why are you feeling so compassionate to all of these jivas? If the Lord is telling you to do something, why are you unable to do this? Why are you running behind these bodies? It's a very interesting thing to hear about this. Now, what Arjuna is going through, we don't see that in our life like that. When we see our child, we think that he belongs to us. But what is that belongingness? We should see that. How are we perceiving that he belongs to us? What did we do to that? Husband and wife, they came together. That's it. What else we did? And then when husband and wife, that's an enjoyment for the husband and wife only. Through that enjoyment, they can. In the material plane, if we perceive this thing, this so-called children, so-called this, that of this world, how do they get it? They both come together, they become happy. Through that happiness, the child came. That means Lord is orchestrating the happiness of the jivas. Through that happiness of the jivas, He's actually giving another opportunity to another jiva to come and then perceive in this world and then come to Him. That means Even the jiva is completely devoid of the Lord. Still, the Lord is giving various situations to the jiva in this world to come closer to Him. What a beauty! What a beauty personality He is! What a magnanimous personality He is! That means He is giving happiness to us. Through that happiness, He wants to teach us the real science. Now, when the jivas they come together, and then the jiva, when he sees his son, he thinks that he belongs to me. And this person, the father or mother, they give everything to that soul. And that soul, we don't know from where he came, what is his situation, what is his circumstances, how much is suffering, how much pain he went through to come into this world, and how many lifetimes he's been doing the same thing. That exactly applies to us. We don't perceive that to us also. Likewise, when do you think that these things will be missed? When we have so-called attachments of this world. That's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in fixed conception of the real self. We don't have to be fearful of this world. The world is designed to give fear. But if our consciousness is absorbed, not simply merely to come out of this fear, which this material world will show, just like Duryodhana is gaining, just like so-called people of this world, they're gaining. They say you are fearful. No, 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 don't worry. Work, work, work. Work nicely. Work is worship. You just work. Become free from fearful state. You can do this. You can do that. Never give up. These kind of these kind of inabilities or so-called little transformation from one state to the other state, that will not remove fear completely from the heart. The fear has to be removed completely from the heart. The person should be fully dedicated to the process. When the person is fully dedicated to the process, problems will come, but he will have strength to withhold the problems. Don't you think that Arjuna, after reading Bhagavad Gita, don't you see Arjuna getting problems? Alright, he is getting problems. He has to fight. It's very difficult for 18 days he has to fight. Is it not a problem? It is a problem, but was it a problem obstructing his consciousness anymore? No, no. The problems are not obstructing his consciousness. Rather, those problems are helping us to elevate his consciousness. He's in a separate state. He's not in a state of anxiety, but rather is in a state of acceptance. Likewise, if you see closely, what we discussed today is very important. The jiva is thinking that he is my son or he is my daughter, but the jiva doesn't understand. We never understand. He's connected to that. One time a sadhu go to a son. The son is lamenting profusely. Sadhu would ask, why are you lamenting? So, my father is gone. Okay. Then the sadhu started asking questions. Who is your father? Oh, my father is on the bed. You said your father is gone. Yes, yes. No, no, but your father is on the bed. What do you mean he's gone? No, 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 he's gone. I see your father is on the bed. No, no, he's gone. That means you have never seen your father, which is a fact. Only we connect with the body. That doesn't mean that we don't take care of the body. That is also another important aspect. One should understand why one is taking care of the body. Also, you should have the details for everything. Krishna consciousness means having details to everything. You're offering a prayer before eating the food. Why? Why are you offering prayer before eating the food? before eating. It's not food, it's prasad. There's a reason for that. That means for everything, every instance, there's a reason behind it. And when we get that reason, then the perfection will manifest into our heart. And through that perfection, we are not disturbed in any situation. That is the beauty of bhakti. That means you work, do not work with attachments. You just work. You have a son, you have a daughter, just work. Work to please them for the pleasure of the Lord. You work on behalf of the Lord. You work on behalf of the spiritual master towards them. Family, yes, you work for them on behalf of them. That gives you happiness. Remember that instant we were trying to discuss. I'll tell that and conclude. How come these good qualities and bad qualities are manifest? We are devotees. The good qualities, the bad qualities are already there. वो पूरा पैकेज लेके आएंगे. Please understand. They come with full package. X number of good qualities, Y number of bad qualities. They come with that. It's a package. The subtle body doesn't come alone. They come with the quality. That means when the child is grown up to certain age, then he will be able to, when the situation comes, then those qualities will manifest. Situational based qualities. Why now? If there is a reason, then it will come. If there is no reason, it will not manifest. These are all the armors where the soul would carry from one state to the other state. The body is changing, but the soul's consciousness remains as is. That's why Srila Prabhupada says you should break this science. Now, how do we break the science? Whatever regulations is telling, we should follow that. That's how we break. Otherwise, oh, ये बहुत problem होगा. It's very problematic. We cannot accept the other person. That's also a quality which we cultivated. That means every jiva is unique in his own way. Because everyone will not come with same qualities. Please understand. Some have problem of submissive. Some can be submissive very easily. So that's their nature. Please understand. Now, if you think about this further, the submission which is manifesting, that means submitting to a person, submitting to a pure soul, is very rare actually in this world. You'll not find. You'll see a lot of people coming to the temples, attending the festivals, but you'll not find devotees who are actually surrendering to an individual. You'll not find. It's very rare. You'll not find. But a person who does that, he'll get the end. He'll understand the essence. Up until that point of time is Brahmande Brahmite Kon. A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravarti Arjuna. That means the soul is wandering because soul is looking for shelter. The soul is trying to find where can I get the shelter? Because if you see, soul doesn't come alone. He comes with qualities. And then through that submission, what is happening is the qualities are enhanced. That means the good qualities are enhanced, the bad qualities are gone. And that comes through submission. No, that is what Arjuna is doing now. Why? Are Duryodhana is also in. Don't you think Duryodhana is intelligent? Or he is very intelligent? Babra is very intelligent. To put 100 brothers on one side and big personalities on his side is not easy job. He has to maintain everyone. And he's doing independently. Doing independently means even difficult job. He's doing. Just like in this world, I remember there was a big vice president of PNC Bank. uh, used to live in Pittsburgh. Some friends used to tell that this person, he goes to the office at 4:30 in the morning and he works until 8:30 in the night. Arre baap re, it's difficult. It's not easy. 4:30 to 8:30. That means he has to put his family aside. He has to focus simply on his work. It's not an easy thing. It's a difficult thing, but he's managing everyone. There's so many directors under him, like 20, 30, 40, 50 directors under him. He has to manage all of them. So difficult though, but he's managing. That means the intelligence of Duryodhana is not stopped there. It's coming here. So the Jiva independently is doing, but that independent doing is actually what? Is actually trouble. But this Jiva, those are all qualities of the soul. Please understand this, dear devotees. That is a desire of the Jiva who receives that. And then continuously is doing that. But Arjuna is different. If we understand this different, dear devotees, our state of accepting this truth is totally different. Then we'll understand what is real compassion. Because, dear devotees, if we see the same shloka through the lens of just this life, please understand. This shloka, tam tata kripa vastatam asru purna kulekshanam Siddhantam Vakyam Vacha Madhus. If we see this just through this body, you'll feel, Hare Bapre, Krishna is what is this? Hare is asking to kill his family members, and then he's telling that is not real compassion. What is this? Krishna, what's happening? And you proclaim as Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you're asking me to kill these personalities. See the perception, see the vision is totally different. Please understand this. But when we see through the vision of a soul, the perception is totally different. Are this is only a minute, dear devotees. A lot of people they say, oh, I have so much loss. I lost this, I lost property, I lost bank balance, I lost this, I have bad relationship. This, this is just a phase. Just like one day, stock market tumbles 20 or 30 or 40%. Bapre, don't sell at that time. You'll be at loss. Just hold on. It's a passing cloud. Just hold on. Just continue. Then you see the result. Likewise, just this life, just this body, just the problems in this body is very, very temporary. Hold on. We will be there. We will all be there in the next life also. Now, don't think that everything will be done in this life. Don't think that our Krishna consciousness will be done in this life. We'll come again. Right there. Don't worry, dear. We might have practiced in the previous life also. So this is just a situation. Use the situation to the best of the ability. And then try to finish this business in this lifetime. Anyhow, if the business is not completed, Krishna says, I will assure us another life. What is the problem? Next life you'll get a husband, next life you'll get a wife. Don't worry. Or next life you might be a brahmachari. Even don't worry. What is the problem? Or next life you might get a human form. Next life you might get a male body. Next life you might take the process more seriously. Don't worry. Just continue. Dear devotees, if we see our life through this lens, then what is the real compassion we understand? Real compassion has to be given to the soul, not to this body. I'm not saying that this body has to be put aside. No, we should take care of this body because this body belongs to the Lord. This body has to be used in His service. How can I ignore this? I cannot ignore this. How can I put this down? I cannot put that down. I cannot put this down. I cannot ignore any of my relationships. I should maintain everything in a balanced way. But you need to understand this is all temporary. But understand this temporary thing is yielding as a permanent thing. We should focus on that. You should tell our children also, I'm not your permanent father. I'm not your permanent mother. Once they understand, you should discuss the truth with them. You should ask them, listen this truth. Because they will be protected also. Otherwise, they will be shattered. You should tell the real father is he. Real father is our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Real father is Krishna. They are our life and soul. I'm just a temporary father. Lord has kept me here. I'm just serving you. But we need to give that much love so that they, through us, they should see the love of the Lord. That means you should become more pure. If you come to the plane of selflessness, then this love will manifest. We should give them the ashraya. Na? If you give right ashraya, then they will take the process. Or before giving the ashraya to them, we should take the ashraya. We should take the process more. We should come to the plane of selflessness. Very important. This is a real compassion, dear devotees. Please think about this Arjuna's lamentation. This is exactly his lamentation of our heart. See how Arjuna actually dissipated that lamentation. We should actually follow. That's why you remember what I said at the beginning of the Gita. Srila Prabhupada said this, right? If you follow in the footsteps of Arjuna, all the problems will be removed. What is the problem then? We should simply follow in their footsteps. अरे सबको प्रॉब्लम है यार. अरे हॉस्पिटल में पेशेंट्स ही रहेंगे. In the hospital there are only patients. Everyone has problems here. That means everyone has good qualities, bad qualities. That's not our business. Our business is to finish off our bad qualities and then cultivate these good qualities and then finish the business and then come out of this world. That is our business. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here and then next shloka. It's even interesting. Where the Lord speaks for the first time. Kutasya kassalamidam vishame samupasyitam anarya jussam nasvirgam akirtikaram Arjuna. Are Arjuna, what is happening? How come these impurities come upon you? No, see, now when the devotee is seeing from the lens of the soul, from the lens of the Acharya, then he will understand why Krishna is actually chastising Arjuna. Otherwise, he will not understand. Hare Krishna. It's a beautiful process Krishna consciousness is. So I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? Otherwise, we'll end it here.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad
Amma
Pranamam.
Baswati Amma.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All
Amma
flourish.
Hare Krishna, Amma Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Please tell Amma.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So today, Prabhuji, I was thinking when you said about respect and deeper relationship, and it's not impersonalism but personalism. When Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, building the deeper relationship with him, with Krishna, and then he surrendered. It's not like submit and then Arjuna agreed
Exactly.
battle. So Prabhuji, because I was thinking like Arjuna knows Krishna, he's a supreme God. When because they had relationship, because they are the cousin brother, they are the friends, very best friends. Everything was there, but surrender happened on the battlefield when real problem Arjuna faced, and he asked Krishna himself, whereas Duryodhan, who never get the association, always was envious to Krishna, asked his energy. But Arjuna asked himself. That time he knows that Krishna is the God, and but the relationship builds deeper and deeper, and surrender came when at 2.7 Karpana dosha. So Arjuna is surrendering himself, and then the deep relationship came and the respect came. So Prabhuji, that actually very nicely actually you explained, Prabhuji, about how to build, how to submit. And I was thinking about in our daily life, when we meet with people, like I have friend, she was my like my childhood friend. She lives in India, and she was my friend, and we are very intimate. And she, with Krishna's mercy, she practicing Krishna consciousness now for a couple of years. And whenever we talk about Krishna, we talk about the bhakti process. So our relationship is now more deeper, and I feel like we are now, both of us are practicing Krishna consciousness, so our relationships have so much changes. Previously we were like school friends, college friends, like we have other material activities of talking about, but now we are only talk about whenever we talk over phone. So it's so nice, Prabhuji. I was thinking that how Krishna consciousness make people change. And as you mentioned, that good and bad quality always with us, and we born with it. But through submission, our bad quality will remove, and good quality will be more dominant. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Just
Exactly. Exactly. Actually, this is our wealth, is to have devotees where we can share our heart. Otherwise, the process will become superficial. We don't want this process to be gone in the straight like a karma kanda, like a ritualistic process. This process should be dynamic. Bhakti is a dynamic process. It is ever fresh. Even tomorrow, if we discuss 2.1, we'll get ever fresh discussions. That's the beauty. That's the science. So please don't lose this bus. Our Shravana Kirtana should be very strong. Our sadhana should be very strong. Our dealings in this world will be very straightforward. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I'll stop here unless anyone wants to add anything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my obeisance. All the Srila Prabhupada.
Amma
Thank you
Krishna.
so very much, as Mataji was also mentioning. I wanted to share similar uh, as well, Prabhu. Unless we come to that soul level, unless we hear Shravana, very, very important every single day, where the message is shared only for the soul, uh, with body, with the body and mind, not completely. These discussions are uh, not on the material platform, not for the body, to bring us out of the body platform. So unless we hear attentively the soul level message, it's impossible. And in a relationship, sure, with that respect that you have mentioned this morning. So it's very hard to get out. We will be, as you said, we'll be revolving around in this Brahmanda, but we'll be revolving around the thoughts throughout the day. It's very hard to come out if we don't think on the soul level, or if we don't attentively hear. So thank you so very much, Prabhu. That's the it's always rings in my mind on how Shravana is very, very important every day. And the consciousness, like Shravana also, it, material nature will sure help us if we are with the right intention, with the right desire of hearing, like coming 5 minutes early to the class. That gives the lot of it's like material energy helping us to settle us down to hear the message peacefully, whereas coming in right away or urgently or so. That's all the energy is helping us. Prabhu. So the absorption in the Shravana, um, the material energy helps us to the level of desire that we have to hear and apply. Um, so just wanted to share.
Basically, what happens is the material energy will no longer trouble the jiva when the jiva is trying to get more and more filter in the process. That means the troubles will come, the troubles will be smooth troubles. That means problem will come, but it will not impact. Or we will miss the problem just by an inch. Our Sankirtana Priya, she is walking now. She is slowly, the problem is almost about to hit to the wall. She'll slightly miss by an inch. So that's how the Lord will help the jiva. Because he will help the jiva. So in by an inch, that thing will be missed. Everything, the problem will come, but it will miss by an inch. You can perceive, you see the presence. So it's important. At every moment in our life, we can actually pursue the truth. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I'll stop here. Srila
So one
Prabhupada.
more point,
Yes.
really quick, one more point. The to speaking satyam to kids also very important. Though we think they are not absorbing, but actually they do.
They
So
do.
we have
We
yeah,
should.
when
That
the
is our
as
responsibility.
yeah, and as you said, when the situation comes, we'll be surprised. Actually, they will be replying in the Satyam platform, not
Correct.
on the
Correct.
material platform.
Correct.
So
That's true. That's true. And then we feel so much inspired after hearing that.
yes, Prabhu.
Yes. It's
Thank you so
important.
much.
That's how we should actually develop relationships with everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you all
Prabhu.
very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Sure.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, dear devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class.